So I thought I'd just do a quick follow up. I had the, as anyone who follows my Instagram may know, I had the boards off the bike on Saturday. The friend of mine who has the iMap PC Link said he'd come down from Dunfermline because he was in Edinburgh and drop it off. But he also wanted to have a look at the size of the injector in the engine, because he still thinks it might be possible to put a larger injector in and thus get some more fuel flowing. So as he wasn't coming down for a couple of hours, I said, well, that's fine, I'll take the covers off and you can have a quick look when you drop the computer link off, which was fine. So it gave me a first chance for a while to take the covers off and have a look underneath, make sure everything was okay. Also go over all the cables and that with some WD-40, because the weather here has been pretty horrendous over August and the bike has taken a bit of a soaking. But everything looked fine, and then I just thought I'd go around all the bolts, check everything out, which I probably should do more often. Now, I'm not one of these people that, you know some riders will check their oil level every time they set off, and their lights and their tyres and all this kind of thing, and that's great, and that's probably the way you should do it. Do I do that? No, not really. As far as I'm concerned, if I put the oil in, I'll maybe check it once every 2 or 3 months, unless there's any obvious problems. Tyres again every month or 2 maybe, and that's about it. So this was the first time I'd had the covers of the bike off for a while, and 3 things I noticed. The first was a bolt had come out of the exhaust bracket and was just sitting on top of the oil dipstick. Now, interestingly, I'd been noticing over the last few days, I thought it was the suspension that was playing up, and I was actually thinking of tightening up the suspension. But of course it wasn't. It was just the whole the bike was moving more than it should, because this bolt was missing, and it is connecting the exhaust bracket to the main frame, which made quite a difference. So that was a lucky spot, because if I hadn't spotted that, well, you go over a particularly large bump or something like that, and you could be in trouble. And in fact, the bar of the exhaust frame was moving so much, it was actually hitting off the base of the metal coolant reservoir cover. So that's how much it was actually moving. So that was pretty dangerous. So first of all, I was glad I found that. So that was fixed. Luckily, because of course I still had the bolt, it was happily sitting there waiting for me. It was just a question of fixing it back in, tightening it up, and all was good. And then while I was doing that, I had a quick look at the centre stand and noticed that I've got a crack in the are you going out? Yeah, yes you are. You just go right across the road, don't you worry about a thing. Mental. Yeah, there's a crack on the plate that holds the centre stand on. Now, it's not doing anything much at the moment, but it's something I'll probably need to keep an eye on. A new plate for the centre stand costs about 40 quid, so it's something I'll pick up. I might just pick up a whole new stand. I think Bozzetti do a reinforced centre stand for the Zuma, so it may be an opportunity to get one of those at the same time. So that was number 2. So I thought, oh, this is good. You know, I've taken this apart for a quick clean up, and so far I've found a bolt missing and the centre stand bracket is cracking. Anyway, so that was all I'd noticed at that point, and my friend turned up, got the iMap adapter cable. There'll be more videos on that to come once we try and play around with that. And then I was moving the bike back out, just back into the shed I used before I put the covers back on, and I noticed water underneath the floorboard. I thought that's not right, and there was actually quite a lot of water sloshing about underneath there. so of course I thought, well, why is that collecting? And I thought, well, there is a hole just above a cable, a hole that's a design hole. And I thought, well, the water must be running through the battery box and just going down into that, which isn't very good. So I was about to get a hose and siphon it off when I thought, well, I'll just put a wee post up on one of the Zoomer Facebook groups and just see if anyone's ever had this before. And somebody got back to me very quickly to say that the problem is there are actually drain holes in the metal base of the bike. So they are there for that, to make sure water doesn't gather. And what had happened, of course, is I didn't even know they were there, and over the months or years the drain holes have become blocked, and that's why the water was gathering in the metal base rather than just running straight through and out onto the street. So a quick prod about with the screwdriver, found the holes, and we had that fixed. This looks like a nice line of traffic coming up ahead here. Oh well, he's not going to nod. It's amazing actually, more bikers nod now on the Zoomer than ever did when I had the big 125 screw. So yeah, so that was 3 things. So I suppose the lesson to be learnt there is, you know, pay attention to your bike and maybe take the panels off every once in a while and have a look around and keep an eye on things. I was maybe being a little bit too blasé. What's this learner driver doing? And just assuming that because the bike was going okay, everything was fine. Whereas it happened, there were 3 issues going on, one of which isn't causing a particular problem at the moment, the stand, but it might in the future. So that will need to be dealt with. But the bolt certainly could have caused serious problems, and as my MOT is actually due in a month or so, you want to make sure it's in as good a nick as possible. So yeah, the lesson I've learned from that is, you know, take the covers off every now and then. It takes about 5 minutes to get the covers off this bike. It's so easy to work to get the covers off, have a look around and just check that everything is as it should be, because you'd be surprised at little things that can catch you out. So that was it. I just thought I'd mention that on this start of this run home. So there we are. Yeah, be observant. So that's all for now. The IMAP data cable I haven't attached it to the bike yet. I'm actually off on holiday next week, so I might just leave it till there when I've got a bit more time to play around with things. I did put the cable into the laptop last night, and the laptop, Windows 10 laptop, found it okay and seemed to upload whatever drivers it needed to operate, so it seems fine. I've got the IMAP software on. All I need to do now is just plug the other end into the IMAP itself, and we might be able to do something with it, increasing the fuel to get a bit more speed out, which we used to have with the Polini CDI. I've also been in touch with a guy who he's wired his IMAP differently. He had a different set of instructions, and he says he's getting more obvious results than I got in terms of higher revs. Now he's done that. So he's doing me a wiring diagram just so I can compare it. Now maybe he's just wired it in a different place on the bike, but he's actually wired it to the same wires I've used, just at a different spot. But he might have done something different, and it could be interesting, because again it could be maybe some difference between a, you know, continental or a Japanese Zoomer and a UK Zoomer. And just maybe there's something I'm missing or something I'm not aware of. So that's a couple of options, and of course the third option is my friend he knows a lot about FI engines and has a lot of good contacts, and he's taking pictures and things of the injector in the Zoomer, and he's going to see if it's possible to find anything that might increase the fuel delivery, because I don't know if any of you had the injector off, but whereas normally you would expect to find at least sort of 6 holes, tiny holes supplying the fuel, the injector in the Zoomer has 2 tiny holes. So, you know, there's certainly room for a bit more fuel to go in. Anyway, that's all for now. I'm just heading home after Monday at work. So, thanks for listening. Hope that that was of interest. Maybe a couple of things to check on your bike if you haven't done so already, to avoid some of the pitfalls that I almost encountered. So yeah, as always, if you can like and subscribe, that's much appreciated. I'll keep you up to date with what's happening with the IMAP and anything else that I'm up to. As I say, MOT's coming up in a month's time too, so we'll do a bit on that. Hopefully that goes okay. And that's about it. So as always, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for taking part. Comments are always welcome. And yeah, as I say, like and subscribe if you can. Always keeps me interested, keeps me enthusiastic, and I appreciate knowing you're out there. So ride safe, look after yourselves, and I shall speak to you again soon. Bye now.